everyone. Thank you very much for joining the May Supplier Partner Spotlight. We are joined by Emily from Tern, which is a brand new CRM that is making waves in the travel space to build us a platform that gives us a single source of truth for everything that we have for customer interactions. Today, we're going to be talking about automation and how Tern is solving for that, but also why automation is important overall. To kind of give us a baseline, Emily's going to give us a quick overview of Tern. And as we're going through that, please drop your questions into the Q&A box so that we don't lose them. But you're also more than welcome to jump into the webinar chat and say hi, let us know where you're joining from. If you already use Tern, you can let us know as well. But Emily, go ahead and take it away.
Amazing. Well, thank you, Scott. Thank you for giving us this opportunity. We're super excited to be here. I see some actually familiar names in the chat or in the attendee list. So thank you for everyone joining. I know it's very busy time of year and I appreciate you taking the time. Quick introduction on myself. My name is Emily Jeremy. I lead our partnerships team here at Tern. And actually, I'm going to share my screen and share a few slides to start. I know slides are pretty boring, so I'll make sure to go through these quickly. But I do like to start out with our story. I think it's really helpful for you to understand where we came from and what our background is. So this is my contact information, by the way. If anyone wants to send me an email, I would be happy to meet one-on-one. But we actually have experience in the technology space. So me and David, Katie, and Brian, our three co-founders, used to work together at a company called Handshake. For those of you that aren't familiar, it's another industry. It's actually kind of in the education tech space, but it is a company like LinkedIn. It's actually now the second largest career professional network, second to LinkedIn, but it helps college students find internships and jobs. The reason I share that is because we have experience building technology and we are kind of proud to say we're pretty good at it. We can do it pretty quickly, but we do not have experience in travel, and we're pretty humble about that. We got into travel actually based on some of our CEO's travel woes. So our CEO was traveling in Greece in 2021, I believe, with his wife. So things weren't like fully opened up yet after the pandemic. He missed a ferry. And he sat in a hot parking lot for 6 hours because he didn't get the email. It was in all Greek. It went to his spam. And he sat in his parking lot and he was thinking, if I had used a travel advisor, Wendy actually specifically, because that's who his in-laws have used their whole lives. If I had used a travel advisor, this wouldn't have happened to me. And so being the person that he is, David, he started researching the travel advisor space. And what he realized after researching, having conversations, him and our co-founders went to ASTA in 2022. What he realized and what I hear every day having conversations with advisors like y'all is that you are using multiple systems to piece together your business. You're using a CRM somewhere, you're using an itinerary builder, a calendar scheduling tool, an email marketing tool, a separate email tool, all of these tools to piece together your business. You're spending a lot of money, you're spending a lot of time. Not a lot of things are automated, which we're going to be talking about today. And it's just kind of disjointed. And so what we're trying to do and what we solely and truly believe here at Tern is that travel advisors plus great technology is really the future of travel. And what we're doing on the travel advisor side is we're building a modern operating system, an all-in-one system for you to run your whole business in one place. That includes creating customized forms that you can put on your website or send to clients. When they fill out those forms, it's going to automatically, talking about automation, build out a trip or build out a CRM contact for you. That includes building out full itineraries and proposals for your clients with optionality. I'm going to tease some AI features. Some of it's launched in Tern today, some isn't yet, but that is absolutely going to save you time and really automate a lot of your workflows, is using AI to bring data into our itinerary builders. We also have a full automation workflow in Tern that we built about a month or two ago. We have a full CRM for you to store all of your contacts. We have a full credit card authorization flow with passport parsing and all those things, and terms and conditions, travel insurance. So I'm going to stop on the slides because I know these get really boring, and I'm actually going to show you a demo of Tern. But really think of Tern as kind of the all-in-one platform for you to run your whole business in one place. I know, and Scott, your introduction was amazing and I really appreciate it. And he said, everyone put questions in the Q&A or in the chat. Please feel free to do so. And as I go along, please ask questions and kind of put stuff in the chat, and I will pause and I'll answer them as we go. So you can wait until the end, but also feel free to ask them as I go. Oh, Robin, I love it. You are one of the familiar faces. So thank you. That's so sweet. Okay, so when we talk about automation, what is automation? Automation is essentially automating things using technology to save you time. And so when I think about automation in Tern, there's actually a few different ways that we automate to save you time in Tern. It's not just our automation and workflow tools. It's using AI to build out itineraries and save you time. It's actually using form data to automatically pull things into Tern to kind of start an itinerary or to start a contact CRM. It's creating email templates so you can automatically pull those in when you send client communication. There's a kind of a different pieces in Tern that are automations to help you save a lot of time. So as I go through the workflow of Tern and kind of what Tern does and how it helps save you time, I'm going to be talking about all these automations. So when you log into Tern as an advisor, this is the view that you see. It is giving maybe like a Trello feel a little bit. That is done very intentionally. It's meant to be a way that you manage all your trips. You can see these statuses. These statuses are completely customizable to you on the back end. So you customize these for however it works in your head. But you can see how easy it is to simply grab a trip. And of course, on my demo, it's going to click into a trip as I'm doing it. That's funny. But you can grab a trip and simply drag it to the next stage once you're ready to kind of start planning. Maybe now you're in the booked status, so you can drag it to booked. You can see how simple it is to drag and drop. You can drag it back if you made a mistake too. So that's kind of how this board works, and you can have multiple stages. I'm going to walk through how to build out a form and how to share a form with clients. And then I'll walk through some of the automation pieces. So hold tight on that. But I'm going to show you a form first because I think this is important to talk about automation. So when we think about forms, we have two out-of-the-box forms built already in Tern, a trip request form. So when a client says, hey, I want to go to Mexico, go ahead and send them that trip request form. You can ask them what their budget is, when they want to go, where they want to go, and all of these details that you need in order to build the perfect trip for them. We also have a contact information form, and I'm going to show you how to build that one out right now. And then you can create custom forms to your liking. A contact form would be gathering contact details in order to actually book the trip for your clients. So you can see here, we start with like the title of the form, a description. Hi, please fill out this form so I can book your trip for you. If you are traveling with other people, you can fill out their information on this form as well. All right. And as we build this form, you're simply dragging and dropping things into the form builder that you need in the form. So for example, if I want to collect address, I drag it here. If it's important for me to have birthday, because when we set up automations later, you want to send automated birthday emails through the system, you drag that in here. If you need their passport, because this is an international trip, you simply drag that in here. Maybe you want their secure traveler IDs, you drag those here. So you can see how easy it is to build out this form. When we think about automations through this form, we've also added in some unique elements like a scheduler tool, which help you save a lot of time. Are any of you using Calendly or other scheduling tools on this call? I know it's hard to kind of raise your hand here, but anyone else using other scheduling tools elsewhere? Thumbs up, chats. Yep, raised hands. Amazing. So what we did in Tern is we added a scheduler right in Tern. So it's exactly like Calendly. It integrates with your calendar. Clients will only be able to book time when you're actually available. It will send an automated calendar invite. You can include a Zoom link. And it's like Calendly, but it's built into Tern. So if you're paying for Tern, you do not have to pay for any other scheduling tools. You can put that in a form, or you can just send the link out individually. It's in your settings. So this is an example of putting that in a form. And so you can see I've built out this contact form. And if I'm ready to share it with my client, I just simply click share and I send them the email and say, hi client, here's your form to fill out your contact information. Like, please fill this out. I'm going to go back though, and I'm going to show you a trip request form, and I'm going to fill that out for you so you can actually see exactly what the client sees on that form. So if I go ahead and share my take a trip with Jeremy travel form, you can see it actually saved my information because I was already filling it out before. But if you had not started filling this out, it does not save it. So I would just start typing things in. One unique thing about the form builder, if you see here, it helps autosave. So again, when we're talking about automation, many of you probably have your forms on your website and you want to use them as lead builders, like, right, lead finders. If someone fills out this form, but they don't actually fill out the whole thing, it auto saves what they filled out and it tells you on the back end what they filled out. So you could use this as a lead finder to say, okay, a few people have filled out my form. Here are their email addresses. They haven't finished. So let's email them and continue that conversation. So just small details that make Tern really cool and really automated there. So I'll go ahead and start adding my details. Maybe I've already added my information. I want to add my husband and I want to add my son here. Oops, put my maiden name. And then I'm going to go ahead and say what I want to name this trip. So maybe this is, Malin trip to the Caribbean 2024. It's coming up soon. I actually want to go in the fall. Oof, let's see if we can actually do that. But let's do September through the end, maybe September 21st, and then budget. They will agree to your terms and conditions right through the form. So again, another way to kind of automate information here. What's really unique about this is whatever version they agreed to, if you click on terms and conditions, it tells you what version and when they agreed to it. So if there's ever a chargeback situation, you have all of that kind of already like organized on the back end for you. And then I'll go ahead and click next. I will then see the scheduler tool where I'll be able to schedule time right through that in the calendar link, if this lets me. And I'm hoping I have some time here because I didn't first. Oh, Katie, while I'm letting this load, was doing this to me earlier. Katie, is there a price that includes one IC? Yep, really good question. So Tern right now has been built or was built for individual advisors, and we'll continue to update the advisor side. We're also building an agency product. So as we speak, we're building that. So the ability to add, oh man, and this does this to me on this specific form. So I think I have to delete the calendar invite, but I'll show you here in a second what that looks like. But we're building out the agency product. And so that you don't have to, you'll be able to add ICs under your agency. You'll be able to see reporting on kind of their sales, be able to reconcile payments. You'll be able to collaborate on items in Tern, which is kind of unique. And there will be discounted pricing for ICs. So send me an email if you're interested in learning more about that, and I can put you on the list and let you know when we launch it. Does that work? I'll share my email right here in the chat. Okay. And oh, here we go. My form is working. So I'm going to book Monday, June 3rd at 9 a.m. Any questions on forms? As again, this is so annoying. This is only through this specific form, but it's taking a while. But as we're waiting for this, any questions on forms, calendar scheduling, terms and conditions through the form? Otherwise, we'll assume we're all good. Sorry, y'all. This is so classic. This always works for me when I'm not on a demo. Give me 1 second. I'm going to repro this in the back end. Okay. Okay, I'm going to just fill out this form one more time. It saves all my information. I'm going to submit it so you can see this. Okay, and so then once the form's submitted, you can see this nice little page that says, great, your trip request has been shared with Emily. You can actually create an account as a traveler, so you can start to see all of the information in your account. And then what's really cool, talk about automation, if you go back to the home screen, you're going to get an email notification that they submitted the form, but you're also going to go back to your home screen and you're going to see their trip already created here with their dates, all of the travelers on that trip, Emma, Dan, and Oliver, and then you can start building out the trip from that form. So you can see how that's kind of quickly automated and building and created a trip for you. Patricia just had a question, and sorry all. So if you want everyone to see your questions, make sure to change the who you're sending the question to everyone versus just hosts and panelists. But I'm going to pause for a second. Patricia had a question on dashboard views. So we are releasing some dashboard views and reporting on the advisor side. So you can start to customize your dashboard, what you're seeing when you log in, what reports you see, sales, supplier supports, etc. We're going to be launching that end of year, Patricia. So we are building the agency product right now. And then we're building our groups product, so full group management. And then we're building out reporting and dashboards, and then we're doing email marketing. So those are kind of the next really big buckets if we think about our product roadmap. Great question. Okay, so I'm going to build out a trip for y'all so you can see how to build a trip and kind of how this works. So let's just start here. You can see the travelers are already added to the trip, but if you want to add more travelers that are in our CRM, you can just simply search for the travelers here, and we can add Malia maybe, and then go ahead and say, okay. I can go ahead and add a cover photo for the trip. So maybe I want to add a beach photo. This is an integration that we have with Pixabay. There's about 4 million royalty-free photos that you can use throughout your trip planning process. Some of these integrations are kind of a good way to save you time as when building out the trip. And I'm going to go ahead and click on itinerary. One really unique thing about Tern in our itinerary builder is that we provide you the ability to create options for clients. Meaning, do you want to go on an all-inclusive or do you want to go on a cruise? Within those itineraries, do you want to stay in this hotel, this hotel, this hotel? Do you want to go on this tour or this tour? So you name it, you create the option for it, and the client, which we'll see here in a second, can actually click into that link and choose the option depending on what they want and what they prefer. So in this case, I'm going to just create, and I'm going to do some really high-level itineraries here, but I'm going to do an all-inclusive option. Inclusive, if I can spell. And I'm going to update that. And then I'm going to do a cruise option for those of you that sell cruises. And I'm going to just pull in a really quick photo here. Again, all of this, we're kind of building out some of this stuff to save you some time. So some of these integrations I'll show you here in a second. So now you can see I have an all-inclusive itinerary board and a cruise itinerary board, and I can start building those out separately. But they're all on the same trip, and you'll be able to give those options to clients. Okay, I'm going to just pull in some stuff from the library. I highly recommend when you're building out your trips in Tern is to save them to your library to save you a lot of time. But I'll show you one cool thing really quickly. And I'm going to tease this. But one of the things we're launching very soon, let's say you pull in a flight here, and Scott's going to be excited to hear this. And I'm going to show you what AI Assist is soon as well. But let's say you wanted to add a flight to the trip. If I just go ahead and search that flight number, it's going to automatically pull up the flight. What we're adding by end of next week, I believe, maybe early the week after, is automatic flight notifications. People have been asking about this for a few months now. We're super excited. We are launching the flight notifications on the traveler side and on the advisor side coming very, very soon. So when you start building this out and you're adding a flight, if there are any gate changes, time changes, both you and the traveler will get notified. Another thing that we've done, which many of you might have seen, but let's say I've booked a flight through the GDS for those of you that use the GDS, or your clients have booked a flight elsewhere and they've sent you the confirmation. We have built out really cool AI tools. We talk about automation that will save you hours and hours of time in Tern. So we launched our first iteration this week, yesterday, I believe, 2 days ago. So let's say that I have a GDS code. I booked a flight. I'm going to go ahead and pull in the flight, and I actually have to get that code. So bear with me. I think I have it in my notes. Give me 1 second. Okay, so I have a GDS code because I booked the flight. I'm going to go ahead and just paste that code here into the AI Assist. So you can see if I create a flight, if I paste that into AI Assist, and I go ahead and press submit, it's going to parse out the details. It's going to, like, in the back end think, oh, what was that code? I know exactly what flight this is. It's a flight from JFK. Here's the confirmation number. Here's the flight number, and here's the time. I'm going to go ahead and add that to Tern, and it's going to automatically add that flight. That's just one example. I'm going to show you some really cool examples here, but talk about automation. This AI Assist is really, really cool. So you can see how easily that just built out that flight. I saw some faces there go. Awesome. Let's do that with a tour, but first I'm going to pull in lodging. So I'm going to pull in a lodging block here. We do have an integration with, we have a Giada integration built out. So we have, if you pull in lodging, we typically have most of the hotels in the world in Tern. We have about 1.2 million properties. So if I were to search under property for, let's do Hilton Tulum as an example here, you'll be able to see if it's in our database. You just click on Hilton Tulum, all-inclusive resort. It's going to pull up a description and it's going to automatically pull up media images to build out this itinerary for you. Maybe you prefer this one as your primary photo. You'll click on primary. Maybe you want to add some more of these kind of to the photo repertoire here. So you can see how easy it is to start to add in these photos. And again, that's going to automatically create that lodging block for clients in my itinerary. Okay, one other thing that AI can do, let's say that you want to book a tour or you've booked a tour through, let's see what I have in my back pocket here. Hold on one second. Let's just do a project expedition tour, but this could be for Viator, this could be for Vax, whatever you're kind of booking something through. If I go ahead and let me find that link that I was using before. Let's say I go and find that tour elsewhere. And I know this is going to be a little bit confusing because this is in Florence. But if I book a tour through another website, I can go ahead and copy and paste that whole tour. Again, this is live, folks. So this is actually, if you're in Tern today, this is live. And I'll go ahead and pull in an activity, which is a tour block into Tern. And then what I'm going to do in that AI assist is I'm going to copy and paste that exact kind of full website into AI assist. I'm going to make sure that S got included because I didn't copy and paste that. And what this is doing in the back end, again, using AI, is it's parsing out that entire tour for me. So it pulled up the title. It knows that this is a tour in the subtype. It knows the location. It knows the cost. It knows the confirmation number and the description. We are adding images very, very soon. You still have to copy and paste images. But now this goes ahead and it builds out the whole itinerary for me, the whole tour. And it knows the start date as well. So you can see now it built out that whole tour. So if you all are using Tern right now, this is live. I highly recommend testing it out and seeing how it goes. Any questions on that? I'm going to pause. Oh, you guys can't see this comment, but Allison just said, I didn't think I could love Tern more than I did. And here you are making me love you more. That's so sweet. We are so pumped about the AI stuff. I'll tell you, like this is just done on the activity level right now, but coming very soon, you'll see this quick start on the left-hand side. You can literally paste entire itineraries from, let's say, like a Disney cruise, because we don't have Disney cruises, unfortunately. You could paste this whole itinerary into this button and it will build out the whole itinerary for you. Maybe you're working with a DMC and they send you a PDF itinerary. It doesn't match your branding. It doesn't look good. And typically you use Word or something else and you have to recreate the whole itinerary. You no longer have to do that. You'll just upload the PDF and it will build out the whole itinerary for you. So when we talk about automation and time savings, this AI stuff will save you hours of time. And we're just so, so excited. So if you're in Tern or if you're not and you sign up, let us know how it goes. Start playing around with the AI stuff and keep us updated and tell us if there's anything we can change. So we're always open to feedback. Okay. I am going to also build out a cruise library or a cruise itinerary for you all. So give me a second here. Do any of you sell cruises?
I'm going to say a lot of us do.
Okay, good. I always like to ask that first because I don't want to like share this and like go through the whole cruise flow if y'all don't sell cruises. So give me 1 second. Yes, yes, yes. Awesome. Okay. I'm actually going to, my internet is being really slow. I might have to change internet, so bear with me if that is the case. Um, Hold on one sec. Okay. You can hear me all right, Scott. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. It's always when I don't know if it's because I'm sharing my video. I'm going to stop my video for a second, but it's always when I start sharing my screen that my internet gets really slow. Okay. So I'm going to pull in a cruise library into Tern. For those of you that sell cruises, I truly believe that this cruise database that we have in Tern is kind of one of the more robust cruise databases out there. We partner with a database called Widgety, and they have over 45,000 cruise lines and full itineraries in Tern. So for those of you that sell cruises, this should save you hours of time in building out itineraries. So what I did is I pulled in a cruise library, and you can see the dates are already there because those are the dates the traveler originally requested in the form. And you can see these are all the cruises that we have in Tern. There's over 99 pages of cruises within those dates. I can filter and just search for specific ports. So maybe my client said they want to go to Roatan. I can go ahead and filter on cruises that actually stop in Roatan, for example. I can also filter by supplier. So the actual supplier, I can filter by the ship. If I want to search for Icon of Seas ships, for example, cruise type, adults only, ship style, etc. But these are all the ships that stop in Roatan. So I'm going to go ahead and I can always preview a template, but maybe I know I want to do Icon of the Seas. So I'll go ahead and add this. Actually, I'm going to do this one. Add the Wonder of the Seas itinerary to the itinerary in Tern. You can always preview it to see, but I'll show you this live. So I'll go ahead and add it to the itinerary, and you can see it pulled it in on these days because it starts on September the 8th. So it still will show the days before. So then you can start to add lodging and stuff if they're showing up early, but you can see this pulled in the whole cruise itinerary. And I'll show you in a second, it pulls in way more than this: deck plans, dining, all of that information needed to make an informed decision. When we talk about options, there's one other really cool thing within cruises where you can actually give your clients cabin options. So give them 2 options for cabins that they can stay in while on this cruise. So if I pull in an options block, this is actually giving them the cabin options. You can give tour options, you can give flight options, transportation options, you name it. In this case, I'm going to pull in a lodging because that's what I'm giving them an option for. And then you're going to see that Tern is smart and it knows you're already on this ship, Wonder of the Seas. So then if I click on room assignment here and I click on search cabins, it's pulling up every single room on Wonder of the Seas that I can give them an option for. Maybe I have a bit of an upsell option, and maybe this is a 2-bedroom spacious aqua theater suite. So I want to give that as one of the options. It will automatically pull in a description of the suite as well as images. And then I will have to go to the website and find pricing, but we are working with Widgety in order to pull in live pricing, but you still will have to pull in pricing. So maybe this is 7 nights, $2,000 a night for a total of, and that seems cheap, maybe, I don't know, $14,000. And here's where you'll set up credit card authorization. And I'm going to skip that for now. And then I'm going to pull in a second option here. Again, it knows I'm on Wonder of the Seas. If I click on room assignment and search cabins, maybe I'm going to give them kind of a lower option here, and I'm going to give them this ocean view balcony room. Again, put in pricing. Maybe this is, if once I go to the website and check, maybe it's $900 per person per night. And then I'll go back. I see there are some questions in the chat. So I built a cruise itinerary this morning. It took about 10 minutes. Amazing, Allison. I love that. Really happy to hear how this works in real time. Thank you. Okay, so just to kind of reiterate, I know that I've been doing a lot on the back end, but I was building out an itinerary with 2 different options: an all-inclusive itinerary where I pulled in, using AI, a cool tour, the resort, the flight using the GDS, which is pretty cool. And then I also pulled in a full cruise library. So now you can see I've given my clients 2 different options. And I'm going to go ahead and share this itinerary, or proposal in this case, to my clients. When I click on publish, what this does is it publishes this link so that my clients can now see it and start to engage with the itinerary. So it pulls up a message here so I can say, hi, Malin family. I have started your proposal. Please click on the link below to view it and choose your preferred, if I can type, options. And then they'll get an email with the link. I'm just going to copy the link and show you it so you can see it. But again, they're going to get an email. They're going to click on the link and now they're going to see this trip. This is what the itinerary looks like on the client side. So this is the traveler itinerary. They'll see the name of the trip, my branding as an advisor. They're going to see that cruise option, and there's a range of prices because I've given them 2 different cabin options, and they're going to see that all-inclusive option. If I click on view itinerary here, they're going to see, and they have to scroll down. You can delete these days, by the way, so this doesn't look super weird that there's nothing happening there. But if you click in, you can see what the cruise itinerary pulled in. It pulled in a whole video of Royal. It pulled in an entire overview of the ship, all 136 photos of Wonder of the Seas, all of the deck plans on the ship, all of the dining options available, entertainment, health and fitness. So you can see how easy this is to pull in with like 3 clicks of a button. You don't have to do any extra work. It pulls it in real time. And then it also shows them each port, and it shows them each room, and they are able to kind of click in to learn more, see pricing, and select their favorite as their preference. Once they select their favorite and they go ahead and click on approve itinerary, again, when we talk about automation on your back end, this is built out so that you can kind of create these proposals and options for your clients really easily. And on the client end, they get one link. They use that same link the entire time to give comments, to approve options, to authorize payments, to pick travel insurance. So again, it's kind of this like really nice flow for the client, but also for you. So then if I go back to Tern, once they've chosen an option, and I go ahead and refresh this page, and I'm getting email notifications, that's why I'm checking my watch, that they've approved an option. You can now see that they approved the cruise. And then if I scroll back again, you're going to see that they approved a cabin. You can go ahead and click into that to see which room they chose and convert that to a single activity. So you can see that they chose the spacious suite. I'm going to go ahead and convert that. And now we're just working with that spacious suite, and I can start to set up credit card authorization. I'm going to pause for a second. What are some questions that we have? Marilyn, thank you for joining. Sounds like you're hopping out. We will send the recording. I think actually Scott's posting the recording after, correct?
At some point this week.
At some point he'll post it. Perfect. Thanks for joining, Marilyn. Okay, I'm going to pause for a second. What are questions y'all have on the itinerary builder, the AI tool, the optionality, if any, or feedback, comments? We're always trying to make Tern better. So if there's anything you feel like you would love to see added to that, please let us know. Oh, thank you, Vicky. Oh, and everyone make sure to, and feel free to just type this to me, but if you are typing in the chat, make sure to change it to everyone so they can see it. But yeah, there's just some comments about the photos and info adding is a game changer. It's very sweet. Thank you. Okay. I know a lot of you came on this call to talk a little bit about automations, as in like the automation workflow in Tern. So I do want to share that here. But before I do that, does anyone want to walk through the credit card authorization flow and the kind of insurance flow? Say yes or no. I'm not sure where everyone's at in knowing Tern. Oh, Patricia, good question. If you build a cruise itinerary in Tern, and Tern updates and functionality, does that itinerary automatically have the new functionality? Yep. Anything that Tern updates, you'll just see it in the new version. Like there's no new version, you'll just like see it and it will automatically update. Also, sometimes the cruise itineraries are our infrastructure provider widgety. We update the information daily. but sometimes cruise libraries and even hotel databases are a little out of date. So if that's the case, give us feedback and we'll update it. And if anything changes on the cruise, you actually automatically get an email that tells you what the changes are and when, so you can notify your client. So that's live now. But if there are things that you feel are out of date, just click on this product feedback button. It takes a screenshot of where you just were, so we know what trip you're talking about, and just share a little bit about what you need updated, and we'll get that updated pretty quickly. Scott, you went on video again. Did you have anything to add?
No, I'll just coming up to that point.
Perfect. Okay. Okay. Yes, on credit card and insurance, please. Yep. Okay. Yes. So we'll do that. We'll do we'll do workflows and automations, and then I will leave time for questions, I promise. But again, I know you all are asking questions as I go, so this is awesome. So many people, just quick background on authorization and insurance. In other systems, you know how they all work, but you're creating invoices every time that you need authorization. In Tern, we kind of flipped it a little bit on its head, and we thought, you're already building out a trip. You're already kind of creating these components in a trip. Why don't we have you get authorization ready right through those components? So in this case, they chose the spacious aqua theater suite. I'm going to go ahead and click into there, click into booking and pricing, and you'll see under credit card authorization and payment, we set it up so that everything that you need to get authorization in a compliant manner that keeps you safe from chargebacks is here. So you choose your payment schedule. On the payment, there's a deposit that you need for the cruise and a final balance. You'll choose that schedule here. Maybe the deposit is $500 and that is due, I don't know, end of this month. And then maybe the rest of the money is due, the 13,000 is due, let's say at the end of August. So you'll get those two things ready. You can also do installments. So if you want them to pay in installments, hotel block guarantees, you can allow partial payments. If you turn that on, they can partially pay for these things and continue to add more to the balance. We have you add the supplier. So if you type in Royal Caribbean, I'll pull that up and you will add the Royal Caribbean terms and conditions and cancellation policy here. So that's a part of the workflow. So again, your clients, you don't have to add this separately or send it to them separately. It's just included in the word authorization. And now you can see that this is ready for authorization. We tell you what you need, and once it's ready, you'll see this ready for authorization button. If I go back to authorization here, now you're going to see the deposit and the full cost. They are ready to go. Now let's get insurance ready as well. So again, these are canned out of the box things. We worked with Tom Carpenter, our travel lawyer, and many of you probably work with him as well, for over 6 months on this language. This is out of the box language ready to go to keep you safe from chargebacks. So if I want to offer insurance, I know many times it's like insurance done through the cruise, but in this case, I'm just going to do Allianz as the insurance provider. I will go ahead and title it. I will search for that supplier in Tern, and then I'll go ahead and add the policy. You can upload a file, you can upload a web link. I'm just going to upload the file here, or sorry, the web link. I can add the quote number. So again, you're finding the insurance that you're offering elsewhere, and then you're inputting it into Tern. Maybe the insurance is, I don't know, $450. And now you can see insurance is ready for authorization. There is one more step that you need to do for insurance in order to make this ready for clients. And you'll have to click on this ready for client review. We just do this because we want to make sure that this is fully ready so that so you do have to click on ready for client review in order for them to see it in the itinerary. Rachel, really good question. Can you offer more than a single choice for insurance? Yep. You just go and add another insurance option. Maybe it's Allianz number 2. So I'll just do that again. But you can offer like multiple ones, different insurance. I'm just doing like the same one, but maybe it's another Allianz insurance, and maybe this one's like a little bit more expensive, but it covers them more. So let's do 600. Now this is ready. So if you go back, you can actually see there's 2 different insurance options here. And then once again, I have to click ready again. So now I've made authorization ready and I've made insurance ready. I'm going to go ahead and publish this. And then and I'm actually going to show you this live on the client side. So let me go ahead and share a new screen. So bear with me here. Sorry, there are so many trips on the client. This is the traveler view. There's so many trips because I'm using the same email when I demo. So sorry about that. Okay, so I think this is the trip. Yep. So if I click on this trip, again, this is the same link that the client was using before in order to choose their options. Now you're just resending them this link and saying, hey, client, payment is ready to be authorized. Go ahead and click on this link, and they're going to see their next step show up here. So here it says next step is select insurance. And here's where this out of the box insurance language comes into play. So there's all this information about insurance policies. These are the two quotes that are being offered. They can also choose not to insure their trip, and that's tracked on the back end. But in this case, I'm choosing the more expensive option. And then now I'll see what I need to authorize. So first is this deposit, $500. The terms and conditions live right here. I can actually choose to authorize partial payments here. You'll see the Allianz number 2 showed up here. I can go ahead and add my card details and fill those out here. Or if it's been 30 days and I've already authorized, but my CVV has expired, it automatically expires. I can go ahead and just re-enter the CVV, and it will go ahead and then allow me to choose that option. I have to agree to your terms and conditions. I have to e-sign, so this is tracked. And again, it tracks which terms and conditions version I agree to. And then I go ahead and submit authorization. It then takes me to this nice little payment page where I can see that I've authorized $1,100. I still have $13,000 to authorize. And if you mark any of this as paid, if you go and pay the deposit on your end and you mark it as paid, they'll see what's paid. So they can always come back to this page and keep track of where they're at in payments. We just launched this last week, so we're pretty excited about this page. Any questions on that? Oh, Patricia, I just saw your question. Sorry, you asked that a few minutes ago. Is there a way to clean up the duplicate suppliers, for example? Yep. Yeah, good question. We are constantly trying to clean up duplicate suppliers on the back end. We're going to build something in Tern that will essentially hopefully allow for less duplicates in that, like when you go to create a supplier, you can create a supplier now in Tern as an advisor. When you go to create a supplier, when you're typing something in and there's already one, it will just have you match it to them. So we're going to work on that. We're going to be building that soon. And we try and clean up duplicates on the back end. I know there's still more out there. So if you do see any duplicates, send us an email or send support an email, and we'll try and get that cleaned up for you. It's a really good question. All right. If I then go back to my Tern account, since they've authorized payment on the advisor side, if I click on and I had to refresh the page, and again, you're obviously going to get a notification via email, but you'll see if I click on insurance, you can see that they authorized it, the $600. And if you click on view card details, you'll see their whole card details to pay. Again, the card details are stored forever. You never lose those, but the CVV is only stored for 30 days. If I go to authorization as well, you'll see that the travel insurance and the deposit for the cruise has been authorized. Same thing, you click in and you'll be able to see the card details. All right. Any questions on that before we move ahead to tasks, workflows, and automations? Oh, there's a Q&A. Oh, Robin, good question. You asked, so does Tern pay the invoice or do we still need to pay vendors on their site? Good question. No, you still need to pay vendors. So you would still need to go to Royal Caribbean and book this for your client. That's all I'll say for now. I think booking is like a huge beast that we'd have to tackle, but we imagine at some point that we will either build our own, I doubt we'll build our own booking, but probably integrate with booking tools so you can just book right through Tern. That is our ideal goal. That probably is like a year or two out down the line. But we would love if you didn't have to go elsewhere to book, but you still have to do that, unfortunately. Great question. Okay, let's talk workflows. Let's talk automation. So you can see kind of throughout Tern, we've tried to build it so that it's like a flow versus very disjointed process. And you can see throughout Tern as well that we've tried to kind of, that throughout the time, there's automations built into things that you're doing. If you go to your library, this is where you store content that you're trying to use again. So workflows aren't very demoable, but I'll try and walk through this in kind of a concise way to share how to set up workflows. So in your library, emails, tasks, automations, and workflows are what we're focusing on today. I already showed you forms. Emails are essentially email templates, and I'm going to click into my birthday email templates that you can create to reuse over and over again. You can add images, as you can see here. You can add YouTube videos, Loom videos. You can add your recipient's first name. And if you just start typing, actually, I'll show you how to do this. And you highlight, you can make it bold, you can change the coloring, you can add variables, trip link, form name, etc. So that's how you do that. And so you can see this editor is like pretty customizable. You can add attachments, and you're creating essentially email templates under emails in order to use them throughout Tern. So a birthday email is something that you could use to set up an automation so that all of your clients get that birthday email from you automatically on their birthday. And I'll show you how to do that here in a second. I've set up a payment reminder email as well as a take a trip with Jeremy travel. And I could set up an automation so that anytime someone fills out a form, this email automatically goes out to them. So that's kind of how that works. So emails are just email templates. Tasks are templates of tasks that you can use in your flows. So tasks are things that you're just reminding yourself to do. Like, hey, Emily, you need to send them a payment reminder to pay for their trip. Or, hey, Emily, I'm talking about myself, you need to actually pay for their trip. So tasks are something that you set up to remind yourself to do them. Automations are things that you set up that automatically go out to your client. So I can set up a passport expiration reminder, meaning anytime that a passport is expiring in the client CRM, maybe 100 days before the passport expires, I can send an email, and I could create an email template that says, hey, client first name, your passport's expiring and I just wanted to let you know, maybe I do 365 days because you know how long it takes to get through the passport process. But I can set it up so that a year before all of my clients' passports expire, they're going to get an automated email from me that says, hey, client, your passport's expiring. You got to make sure to start the process so that you can continue to travel with me. So that's an automation. And then a workflow includes both tasks and automations. So I'll give you an example. Maybe every time you book a cruise, there are things that you need to remind yourself or the client to do. So you'll set up remind tasks. And then there's automations that are going to go out on trigger dates. So workflows can include as many tasks as you want and as many automations. I've seen workflows be 40 things long. So maybe there's 30 tasks and 10 automations. The sky is the limit. You can literally add as many tasks and automations to a workflow. I'm going to pause for a second. Questions on that? Again, I know it's not super demoable, but questions between the difference between tasks, automations, and workflows. Okay, you're probably thinking like, well, how do I apply a workflow template to an actual trip? And again, a workflow can be applied to a trip or a CRM contact. So let's say I'm going to go back to that trip I was just planning for the Malin family. If I click on automations here under the trip, I can go ahead and say, I want to add, because this is a cruise, I'm going to add my cruise workflow to this trip. And what that will do is based on the cruise date, So the day that they leave for the cruise, this like workflow, so I believe it was like 2 tasks and 1 automation email will automatically go out maybe 90 days before the trip, but based on that first trip start date. So that's how you actually apply a workflow to a trip, is you just add a workflow, or you can add an automation. So that would just be an email that automatically goes out. So if I wanted to add a one-off notification, an automation, maybe it's a Bon Voyage email. I can set it up so that a Bon Voyage email goes out on, let's do 5 days before your trip starts at 9 a.m. And then you can create an email that will automatically go out. Get ready for your amazing trip. I can send it to all travelers or just my primary contact. And then I can make it super personalized and say, hi, first name. Get ready for your trip. These are the things you should prepare. And then you can start kind of building out. So again, what this is doing is 5 days before the trip, the person on that trip will get this automated email and I don't even have to think about it. But if you set it up in your library, if you set it up as a template, you can just attach the template easily. So you don't have to go in and kind of do this every single time. Questions on that? That was a lot. I apologize, but it's kind of, again, it's kind of hard to demo the automation piece. Okay. I'm going to leave it open. There's 4 more minutes. So this is actually perfect timing. I'm going to leave it open for general questions. Comments, feedback as well. Feel free to share whatever.
I know there's a lot, so maybe we just got overwhelmed.
I know that was a lot of information. That was like probably information overload. I apologize, but here's what I'm going to do for y'all. I'm going to, as maybe you're thinking about questions, I am going to put a referral code in the chat. So if anyone signs up using this code, you get $20 off your first month on Tern, which is, it used to be 10. So right now it's 20. It might go back to 10 soon. So highly recommend doing that when you can. $20 off your first month on Tern. Also, anyone who signs up gets a 14-day free trial. So if you want to just test this out and you're kind of more of a hands-on person, go in, log in. You do have to put in your credit card information, but it won't charge you until those 14 days are up. So play around with it. You can always cancel and it won't charge you. But I just put the link in the chat. I'll just do it one more time here for those who can't see it. Oh, pricing. Yeah, sorry about that. 2 people just said, what's pricing? So I'm on this page here. Pricing is, so free trials for everyone. Tern is currently $39 a month per agent. And when I say currently, I don't imagine that's going to change. So I don't know why I said that, but it's $39 a month or $379 a year, which is 20% off. You save 20% off if you buy the annual plan. As I kind of mentioned in the beginning here, we're building out an agency product as well. So for any of you that are agency owners, and want to kind of dive deeper into that, there will be agency discounts if you're bringing on multiple kind of agents under you. So,
and I'll also add that at the very top of the screen, there's a spot for Turn and Learn when you're logged into your account. If you go through all the modules, you get $5 off per module the next month. So that helps defer the cost. So that 2 weeks free. And then when you do the Turn and Learn, it basically gives you another month for free, or a month and a half, because you'll have $20 off the first full month as well with that referral link.
Great plug there. Thank you. Yes, Turn and Learn is right here. So if you click on Learn and you click on Turn and Learn, you will have to create an account, but it's free. Just use the same email that you signed up for Tern with. So that's That's how we know to give you the money off. So every course you complete, it's $5 off to get a whole month free. Great point. Rachel, you had a question. I realize this is email automation, but can all client email correspondence occur via Tern? Oh my goodness. I can't even believe I didn't mention this. Tern has a direct email integration. I don't believe any other tool out there does that. They have email masking, which is a little bit different. So there's no deliverability issues. It's not coming from a weird do not reply at tern.travel email. It literally, if you set up email integration, you are sending emails from your actual personal email and it's pulling into Tern. So super important part of that. I think one other unique thing with, it's really cool. One other unique thing with the AI stuff is if you get like a confirmation from a supplier or a flight confirmation, or you book their tour, because we have direct email integration, you just associate that with a trip and an activity in Tern, and it's going to build out the itinerary for you automatically using AI because there's an email integration. So that is not live yet. That's coming very soon. The email integration is live, but the AI part isn't live yet. But yeah, thank you, Rachel. That was a good reminder. Direct email integration. Good question. Can we add users to our primary account? Not today. It is very individual advisor focused. We are building our agency product as we speak and launching, I think, end of next week. You'll be able to add users under you. So you'll be able to create your agency umbrella and add users. Send me an email if you're interested in getting on our kind of beta or like list for the agency product, and I will send you an email as we launch the agency product stuff. So yeah, please send me an email. Would love to hear from you on that. And I will put one more time in the chat the link so you get $20 off your first month. I know we're out of time. Any last questions? Thank you all so much. Really, really appreciate your time, all the wonderful questions. And thank you, Scott, for organizing this. I'm really, really grateful.
Absolutely. And for anyone who is watching this live, you'll get the recording probably later this week at some point when I have time to pull it. If you are watching the recording, Emily's email will be in the description of the video, as well as that link for the referral code. If you are watching this later on and it's dropped down to $10 off, I apologize. That's the benefit of coming to these live opposed to watching the recordings. You get the best deals.
Good call.
But otherwise, thank you all for coming in, and we will see you next month for our next webinar. Have a good day.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.